everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Well, hello. Okay. Y'all. I'm just going to be straight up because you know that I really just can't be any other way. And I know that this is just going to be, for a lot of people, it's just going to be like, oh my God, typical Jewel. She has a complaint about everything. She's such a hater. Sorry. Sorry. I have issues, guys. I have issues. I have some issues. So, the reason why my damn question was so important and it needed to be asked the way that it needed to be asked is because the main reason why, or the only reason why this interview got pushed up early is because Barnes and Nobles did some crazy shit with the book and released information from chapter 9. And that's what the live that I was going to be doing earlier before I found out that they pushed it up forward was going over chapter 9. Chapter 9 says that at 2:16 a.m. and 2:17 a.m., this guy, can hear Murphy being called by the girls. But sir, we're being told that every version of this footage from 12:55 in the morning to 2:25 in the morning is not redacted. It is muted. There's no sound. Just like there's no sound apparently from noon to 1, there's no sound from 12:55 to 2:25. It's not redactions. It's straight up muted. And then everything after that technically would fall under redactions. The question was very specific because it's something in his book. That's why it needed to be asked. That's why for a lot of people it was so important. Some of you guys were even throwing super chats on there trying to get them to ask the right freaking question. And it just was not getting asked the right way. So we technically don't have an answer to that. Because for him to just sit there and say, yeah, I don't remember if any of it was muted, like that's not answering why you have certain things in your book, because I cannot fight this with MPD, with him giving multiple different answers without being straight up about his answers. And the only way that I can fight MPD on the things that they've done so far, if this guy really has seen information, is if he's giving us things that I can use as receipts. And I'm not getting that from him. And I have an issue with that because some of the stuff that he has said already, we have gone in and found the proof of. I posted in the community tab the documents from the stipulated motion from June of 2025 that actually do mention the debris in Ethan's right hand and how that, which was labeled as item number 3, and other items from Ethan and Xana and Kaylee and Maddie were all in an FBI lab report that was submitted to the court by the defense, again, in June of 2025, less than a month before the plea. And it's all about microscopic hair examination of hair. So there was hair. There was hair found in Ethan's right hand. We do know that when we look at the photos of what we do have from the January 20th drop, we went over that one, or we went over our preview. There's a glop of hair on the ground. So for him to now tell us that there's also blood on like one of the slats of the bed frame, and that what was it, Turvey went to where the bed frame and stuff was being held with pain, and the blood and the hair was still on the slats of the bed. That's great information. But then when he also doesn't know how the house ended up getting torn down, and he doesn't know very simple things, and he gets frustrated when he's asked about me very specifically, because the second he heard my name and the 227 scream in the same sentence, his hands went to his hair and he looked flustered. He looked flustered. And then wants to just act like, I don't know. But there was also like a comment put in the stream. I don't know if Dago meant for this to go into this one or not, but it said something about how Chris hates everybody. Grow up or something like that. And I took a snapshot of it. Lana mentioned it too in the chat. I don't know how many other people saw it, but it was really interesting that he put it that way in there. I have some issues. I have issues. I have thoughts. I have issues. This is not a deep dive. This is a reaction. I have some notes on my little notepad right here. and we're going to talk for a second. And I recorded the entire thing. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to take like some clips and stuff out for what I found like was important, including his little frustration when he got asked about that scream, which was very telling. For his attitude to instantly change, and his hands went into his hair. He said the questions were going into the weeds now. Like anything that he got asked that was like going against the stuff that he has like out there, he was getting mad sort of about. I don't appreciate that. Like if you're trying to claim that you have other information and that you can prove that we've been lied to because you have seen all of this stuff, then don't get aggravated when we ask you about what you're claiming, because we've already been lied to for 3.5 years now, and we have PTSD from it, sir. Okay. One of the big things I found that was a real big problem was when he was asked if he either read or saw Bryan Kohberger's interview in Pennsylvania, he's lying. And I will say that like with my chest, he's lying, because his answer was yes, but he wasn't going to answer the means. And then he brings up a transcript that doesn't exist because they can't find it. And they've known for months that they can't find it. But to sit there and also like not truthfully answer yes or no questions and be honest about what you actually saw when we have all of these questions and we're putting all of this time and effort into getting the truth, and you will only be like 10% truthful with us. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. I don't like it. So the first thing I have up here is how the Barnes & Noble's thing happened. Apparently, they released the audio copy. Let me actually pull up that document onto the screen. Because, again, not only is this just, like, weird, like the way that this Chapter 9 thing is, and I'm going to show you the whole thing. Not only is it weird in itself, it's also like out of order. And we're going to go through this tomorrow. I have the live set up for in the morning. And I'm still going to go through this whole thing, because there's some things in here that I have questions about. It's out of order in some places. Like in the timestamps, like say, like right here, where it says 21:26 about Ethan sending Hunter a snap message saying that he was drinking with Xana and Bethany for him to go and hang out with him. He has it under here under 21:39 when it should be up here between 21:25 and 21:27. But that's not the only time either. Like there's things that are out of order on this timeline. That's like number one, which if this is published in a book and it's out of order, that's kind of crazy to me that it wasn't caught that it was out of order, but it's out of order. But the reason why my freaking question matters is because it wasn't just my community, because not all of you guys are only here. I know none of you guys are like only here. Y'all go to other channels and stuff too. I know that there's plenty of people that are over there on the Devil's Advocates channel and Dago's channel and all the other channels that chipped in to buy this shit so that we could figure out what was happening. So if he's telling us that he is listening to them calling for Murphy and whistling, and then he's also hearing barking at 2:16 and 2:17 in the morning, when our footage is silent, and it's not just silent because it's been redacted. It is silent because they're telling us that every version of this that they have has no audio. It is silent because Ann Taylor has even stood up in court and fought the fact that there's pieces that have no audio. We have found several reports that claim that the pieces that they were going and looking through have no audio. One very specifically came out about there being no audio in those documents that ended up coming out and then being taken back that are on my Google Drive still. It's in there too. So if there really is no audio at 2:16 and 2:17 and it's not redacted, it's actually muted and there's no sound whatsoever, how did he hear it? How did he hear it? See, that's the problem. He said right there. He said it doesn't matter if he sells one book or 1 million. He already got paid, which means that to me, like, you got your paycheck and you don't really care how legitimate you are. I have issues. No, he didn't. He said he doesn't remember any muted pieces, but that doesn't answer the question. Yeah, at the end of the day, he's FBI. That doesn't answer the question. See, that's another thing too. So he says in the book that he got information from, I believe it says 2 ex-FBI agents that received Brady disclosure information. But then he also made a mistake in, again, I recorded this whole damn thing. He also made a mistake and said that he got most of his information from YouTube, which is why he was fangirling over Xana, but also probably why he put his hands in his hair and threw all the frustration when he heard my name. The only thing that he actually mentioned seeing that is not already out here as public information is pictures of the autopsy and like the unredacted crime scene photos where he's talking about the cuts on Maddie and Kaylee, the other 2 identical markings, and then when it comes to Ethan's hand. Like everything else that he's talking about, as far as I can remember, is stuff that's actually already out here. And again, it sounds like he doesn't also know like a lot of some things he should know. You know? And it's not just like stuff that I'm thinking, like go back and look at the chat and I'll probably edit it to where the chat stays like on the screen. So many of you guys were calling it out. Several different things. And so if we've only seen the stuff that's out into the public and we can correct you on some things, like that's actually important when you're not claiming to have anything else but what's already out there. Like he's mentioning documents that are already out there, motions in limine and shit like that. Like the autopsy photos is like the only thing. Honestly. At least so far in this interview. So I don't know. I feel like there's just like a lot of questions here. Yeah, he also said that he didn't want to deal with mainstream right after he said that he just got off the phone with Fox 4 Digital or some shit. You know what I mean? Then he was asked like really specific questions about stuff and he would just, his answer would be like, oh, it's just too complicated. Like, are you saying that we're too stupid to get it? Or are you saying that you just don't have the answer? Like I went into this being like, damn, I'm so freaking glad. Like y'all already know. Like I went into this gung-ho as hell, ready for some answers and some insight. I wasn't expecting to leave that disappointed and aggravated. Y'all know what I mean? Like I was not expecting to leave there frustrated. I was expecting to have left there with like some more answers to some things that we've had questions for and to not feel like we're being manipulated. And that's what I felt like it was. Like I don't know, there was just something. I mean, it's probably a good point there. Honestly. See, and he also said something about how basically everything that he has is already out here. We're just not looking at it correctly. What the hell does that mean? You didn't even know about the renumbering issue and the report having to be corrected. You thought that the owner of the house got the house back so he could lease it back out before the house was torn down, not realizing that he gave it to the university. Like there was a lot of simple shit this guy just was like not knowing. Right? Like I was super excited, especially when we hear, okay, well, one of the first things that he comes out with is that there was hair in Ethan's hand, and we can go back into the documents and we can prove that there was hair in Ethan's hand, and it's item number damn 3. Like that kind of validation for that was like, holy shit. But like, yeah, it definitely came crashing down, and that's not like how I expected that to happen. That's not how I expected that to happen at all. Yeah, the only person that I can say actually like tried to answer or like tried to get him to understand that something was done wrong and try to get him to correct himself was Dago. When he asked him, what was it? What did he call him out on? Well, I can't really say call him out. What he asked him back on was about the renumbering. Dago called him out. Called him out on the renumbering situation. And like I can say that I can give the panel like a little bit of grace about like how the questions went, because it wasn't supposed to happen the way that it happened so quickly. I don't know. There was just a lot. There's just a lot here. Yeah, the whole thing about like Xana running around, like he's taken a lot of like things that aren't proven in his theory and not really making like a lot of sense about it either. Yeah, when he said that MPD did a remarkable job, I lost my shit. Huh? What? Hey, Dago. I'm so glad that you asked him about the renumbering situation when it came to where he was saying Xana's blood was, because there's a lot of things this guy didn't get too accurate. And I honestly don't feel like they knew that that's how this was going to go. I think that they probably saw like what we saw, but then again, they've all read the book too. Maybe they just weren't expecting him to be so flimsy with his answers. I feel like it probably caught them all off guard. I don't know. I don't like the guy's answers to some things. I don't like the guy's answers to some things. And I really wish that he, like this portion right here that came out today, is the biggest reason why I was going to push back going over the new interview that came out on Connor's channel. And we were going to talk about this portion right here. Never mind the other crazy ass stuff in here. Like, I'm just going to tell you guys now. We're going over this tomorrow, but I'm just going to tell you guys now. Apparently, somebody was trying to tell Ethan that Xana was cheating on him. And the way that it looks is as if all of the girls, except for Xana, created a group chat message and they added Ethan to it. And then Xana is constantly calling Ethan while they're at the Sigma Chi party. And he's not, I guess, answering the phone because she's calling him multiple times. And they're supposed to all be right there in the same room. So there's a lot of information with there too, especially whenever you consider everything with Ethan and Xana not even making any damn sense. And there being all kinds of 1.5 million freaking questions. And this is apparently all coming from, yes, who the hell is Erica? Who the frick is Erica? Who the frick is Erica? Let's see, where is it at? We're going through this entire thing tomorrow. And this person that messages him about him being cheated on doesn't just stop at one message. She texts him twice. Work product says that at 5:03 p.m., somebody named Erica sends Ethan a message saying you're getting cheated on. And she sends it multiple times. She sends it at least one more time. And what I found really interesting was up here. Where's it at? There's a group chat that is created right here. Dylan gets a notification that just says Cougar Den. And then Dylan and Maddie and Bethany enter new chats. And Bethany adds Ethan to the group, doesn't add Xana. Ixnays Xana from this entire group message. And then you see down here that, so down here a little bit. Right here, Xana's calling Ethan and it's going unanswered, and it shows that Ethan has a missed call. And then Bethany sees Ethan and Xana in Peter's apartment before leaving. And then Xana gets a text message from Pistol Pete asking if she was good. And then right after midnight at 12:43 a.m., Ethan gets the message from Erica again that says, you're getting cheated on. So then the next thing that I found really interesting was Cooper Atkinson attempts to call Ethan 5 times at 2:00 in the morning via FaceTime. There's also pictures being taken on the girls' phones about things. I don't know. There's a lot going on here. And I just don't remember who Cooper Atkinson is. Do any of you guys know who this is? Because I'm just not sure. Hold on one second. Yeah, so I don't know. No, we're not. We're reading into it exactly what it is because we're reading the black and white messages asking questions. So I don't know what this is, but this is like questions that I have because I don't know who Erica is. We hadn't heard anything about that before. We hadn't heard anything about those text messages. I don't know. I also don't know who Cooper Atkinson is and why he's messaging or trying to call Ethan back to back several times at 2:00 in the morning after Ethan has now gotten 2 messages about being cheated on. I don't know. I'd love to know that situation because we don't have a timeline for Ethan and Xana. But I just wish that there was some better answers to some things. But this is the information that was dropped from Books and Noble that sort of like skyrocketed this interview situation happening. This right here is really hella interesting. What I really wish that would have been asked is about this down here, because this proves, if true, that Dylan did go up to the 3rd floor before the 911 call. At least once, according to these reports right here. At 11 o'clock, the activity data center reports that Dylan traveled up 2 flights of stairs. Well, that would put you on the 3rd floor. If you're traveling up 2 flights of stairs and you're on the bottom floor, you went past where your bedroom is and you had to have gone up to the 3rd floor. And at simultaneously at the same time, Bethany wakes up at 11 o'clock both times. And see how right here, well, I guess right here, I guess it's okay. Because right here he has 11 to 11:32, but then there's like 11:23. But I guess it's okay because of the gap. I don't know. There's a lot of questions just from this in itself. But it's hard to know like what he's actually seen. Especially since like this one shows that the 17-minute phone call wasn't Kaylee calling Jack, it was Jack calling Kaylee. And I don't remember if Olivia said it that way. I remember Olivia saying that Kaylee called Jack at 2:26. But that's also interesting because there were a couple people mentioning how somebody had some footage out that they had messed with. And at 2:26, it says they can hear a phone in a speaker. Like it sounds like a phone is ringing from like a speaker. I'm going to have to go back and try to listen to that and see if you can hear anything, because 225 is where the sound starts on the 1112 King Road camera. At least for what we're being told. And again, I have fought with them tooth and nail since December. I've talked to the city attorney. I've gone round and around, and they are telling me that every version that they have has no audio. And Taylor's saying that there's pieces with no audio too. So right off the bat, just knowing that they've already said in court that there's pieces with no audio, and we know that there's no audio, and he says he doesn't remember any pieces being muted. I mean, the only person that has a different story is him. Me and Ann Taylor's story is the same about there being pieces with no audio. Yeah, I can't wait to read the book. Actually, I want to check it right now and see if the ship out date changed, because if Barnes and Noble released it early and they had to change some stuff around, I want to know if Amazon's going to release it early. I want to know if Amazon's going to release it early. And again, the reason why the 1112 footage being muted right there is important, besides the fact that that's the timing that like everyone gets home, is because we know that the Goncalveses had access to that damn footage by that night. Steve Goncalves already admitted that Jack D got them access to that footage that night. because Jack D was friends with the girls at 1112. And we also know that it took Mallory days and days and days and days and days to finally get that freaking footage out because he wanted to try to be technical, and instead he was just stupid. It ended up just logging in anyway like he should have. He didn't need the router and all that other bullshit. And I don't even understand how the hell that happened, honestly. Like an SD card is an SD card is an SD card. I can go to Walmart any day of the week with no matter what device that I have and get whatever I need adapter wise, or even go on Amazon adapter wise and get whatever I need to read a damn SD card. And if it's an SD card that looks the way that it, like regular ass SD card, I don't see how he was having issues getting any of the damn footage anyway, to the point where he had to end up logging in instead of just using the damn SD card. But we know that people were getting remote access because somebody was looking at it as the camera was physically being removed from the house. So all kinds of people, including the Goncalves, had access to that footage. And I don't know what the inside of the app lets you do with footage. I don't know if it lets you mute it. I don't know if it lets you edit it. I don't know what it lets you do. I don't have Nest. I don't know. Mine still says arriving April 29th. There's been no change on my Amazon one. Yeah, that's true. There was formatting done. That's true too. That kind of ruins a lot. I ordered the hard copy. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like his answers for a couple of things. I didn't like the way he answered about Bryan Kohberger's interview because of what we've been told. And like, what am I going to say? Some ex-FBI agent wrote a book, and in his book it says that he, like, that's not receipts for me to bring to them. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to call them. I'm going to record the whole damn thing, and then we're going to hear what they have to say. But what am I supposed to say? An author put a book out and something happened and it came out early. So there was an interview, and he's claiming that he actually read the transcript because he says something crazy. And don't verbatim me this. I have it recorded. So when we need to go over it, we'll go over it later. But he says something about how, well, when you read a report about it, when you read a report about an interview, but then read the transcript, it's sometimes they're vastly different or some shit like that. And my instant thought was, there's no transcript. We've been told that it's not there. So that's going to be ISP and MPD lying about the pocket recorder and about the transcript, but somehow he has access to it. So I don't know if he's being honest or if he's playing around with words and he's just saying whatever he can say because he knows that the public is already getting told one answer and can't prove otherwise. But something else that really bothered me here is this. And he said this. You guys can go back and listen to this. He says this, I think, in like the very beginning, that he wanted to start writing this book before the plea change. Meaning that you were given access to all of this stuff while there was still a gag order. Right? Because you're not wanting to write a book on the case before the plea. And then the plea happened and information started coming out, and then you started realizing there was something wrong. And then you got into it. You literally said that you were looking into writing this book before the plea. So am I wrong in assuming he got stuff in a gag order? Like, I don't even know what to think about that because you kind of just like screwed up saying that. Now, something else that I wanted to go over this week is Celebrite, the married couple from Celebrite and Jeff Tanzola did some sort of summit thing with somebody, and it's on a channel somewhere. I can't remember the name of it, but I recorded it so we can go over it. And they basically say all the exact same stuff about how there was like nothing really there whatsoever. And it's like they're trying to like play with what they're saying to make it seem like it means something while also telling us that it doesn't mean anything. Like at the same time. But they're using it again for like accolades and like a pat on the back. And I'm like, but it didn't, but whatever you think that you did, you didn't find anything. Therefore, nothing that you did actually put anything on this case. So why are y'all using this case as like a badge to like heighten your career when, again, you literally are on these summits claiming that you didn't find anything, that there was a complete lack of anything? Well, that's not you doing anything. You know what I mean? It's just like with Othram. It's almost like stolen valor, in my opinion. Like it's its own version of stolen valor because Othram didn't find shit. And they're the ones who are like getting all the accolades for being the ones who did something with the knife sheath DNA. And it's not true. There's so many pieces of shit players. I mean, he said he can say that he has documents all he wants to, but he also said in the interview that he hadn't seen all of them yet. Yeah, he said that he was starting to write the book before the plea. I don't know if he has everything, Dago. I think he's telling people that he has everything, but I don't think he has everything. I really don't think he has everything. He had a lot of very simple things incorrect. And he also said himself that he hasn't gone through all of them yet. Like he didn't say that while he was in the like pre-recorded thing with Devil's Advocate, whatever his real, I don't know his real name, but he said that in the live Q&A at the end. So he wrote the book without even like looking at everything. And I hate being like this, bro. I freaking hate it. I did not want to go into this. I didn't want to come out of this like having more questions and like eyeballing the source because like that wasn't the point. I wanted to go into this with like, holy shit, we're finally getting something. Oh my God, we have some stance. And yeah, some of it we can put some receipts and stuff behind, but then there's other things that he said, and I'm just like, I don't know. Right, but he said that as far as he was concerned at that point, like everything was fine and there was no reason to ask questions. That it wasn't until after the plea that he started realizing that there were issues. But then he said he was thinking about writing the book before the plea. Like some stuff he said was just a little everywhere. Oh, thank you for the 10, Shadow Ghost. Or leave because you're last because my work schedule. Just want to stop by and say thank you for what you do. God bless. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're never usually live this late. There was just something that we really needed to talk about. I mean, I'd like to be proven wrong, but I'm not the only one that feels skeezy about the interview. And also, if you can go back and prove that what I'm saying he said is incorrect, please go back to the timestamps and show me that. That'd be fine. Yeah, that's another question too. Like, if you're claiming that you've already seen it, then why can't you answer the question? Like, if you are going to sit there and say, oh, well, I don't know if the pictures are out there. Are those out to the public yet? The bags with Xana's name on it. Like, what do you mean you don't know? You just said you got most of your information from YouTube and a lot of this stuff was already out there, but that we just don't know what we're looking at. Like, that came out of his face. There's that. So if you're going to say something about the bag with the Xana's name on it, and the food on the floor and the plate, blah, 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 and like insinuate some stuff, why can't you just answer the question about her stomach contents? But also, whenever you think about that too, go back and listen to how he answered the question about drugs. When he said that he's seen all these reports and he's seen the autopsy stuff and he's seen the toxicology and he's talking about alcohol levels, notice he never said a damn word about the amphetamine levels in Xana and Ethan's stomachs or in their blood test. He didn't say a word about it. He glanced right over, didn't say a thing. And I'm in the chat like, what? Like, it's in their bloodstream. It's on the toxicology report. Why are you pretending like that's not there? I don't know. Yeah, he said some shit that like threw me off. Oh, well, I do when you're paying somebody for it and it's not your prescription. It sure the hell is a street drug. I mean, that's fine, but so many people already proved a lot of stuff he said incorrect, so I'm not going to slow down. Like when you have like simple things incorrect, that's an issue. Yeah, I'm anxious to hear more about Turvey, especially him going back and looking at the room that the bed frames and stuff were put together on, because that's a big deal. If there's hair in Ethan's hand, and microscopically those were tested, and it's not Bryan Kohberger's, and there's blood on the slats of the bed, and there's hair, and there's blood and hair on the bottom that we can see. We went over those in our live. We can see that stuff. I don't know if there's any noticeable on like the bed slats itself. I'll go through the pictures and see if we can see it, like, because we do have redacted ones. But for him to say that like he went in there to view it and it's like still on the slat, I mean, I don't know. Would they have taken all of it if they were going to do a sample? But we know that they didn't even bother. Like, how do you have hair in his hand and then you see like the connection on the slat in the floor and then you don't test it? Like, him saying stuff like that, I'm like glued to it because we have the evidence. We have the report from the filing in June that has the lab report connected to it. Like, we can see that. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but he sure went on about those wounds. That's why I don't understand why he can tell us that Maddie and Kaylee were cut twice from ear to ear underneath their necks, basically like this on their throats after death, and that they both had like basically identical wounds on each shoulder, calling them 4 significant wounds. Like, if you can give us that much information, why can't you answer about Xana's stomach contents? Does it say that? Let me go open it right now. Yeah, June 6, 2025. So let's make sure y'all can see it because I don't have my screen open. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He definitely repeated several times several things about Maddie and Kaylee's wounds. Yes, he sure did. Okay, so page 3 right here. Debris from the right hand of Ethan Chapin, and it's item number 3. And then if we go down here to page 6, okay, end of page 5 is where it talks about how the method was microscopic examination of hairs. So they're looking at the cuticle, the cortex, the medulla of the hairs, and they're examining it so they can do a comparison. It says that items submitted from Ethan Chapin, which is items 3, and then several others. Items from Xana, items from Madison, and items from, where's Kaylee's name? Am I tripping? Kaylee, right here. Here's Kaylee's. And other items from 1122 King Road, which is items 20 through 25, then it lists a few more, were examined for hairs microscopically consistent with hairs in the head hair sample from Bryan Christopher Kohberger. None were found. Then it talks about items from Kohberger's apartments, possible animal hairs, and it says that this is where they said that there was a hair from I think Kohberger's apartment and Murphy cannot be included in the possible source of those hairs. There was also a cat hair found. Additional debris collected from items 3, 12, 13, and 15 has been preserved for possible future comparisons. So she's right. It shows that Ethan's sample from his hands was preserved for possible future comparisons. So they just never bothered at all to test it. Like it's been sitting there, but they never bothered to do anything with it. Now, something else he said that's really interesting is that there was apparently hair on Maddie's bed that was very, and the hair in Ethan's hand was like, what did he say, 6 to 7 inches? And it was like a blondish brown color. So yeah, Brian's hair is way too short, and you cannot mistake Brian's dark hair for blondish brown. It's definitely too dark to be considered any sort of blonde, in my opinion. Something else he did say was there was a hair, I don't know how many hair, found on Maddie's bed, and it had a root. And didn't he say that it was kind of long? No, he doesn't. We've gone through all that already. There's no dead squirrel in nobody's hand. We've gone back and listened to that already on a live. Yeah, hair with root on Maddie's bed too, and he's claiming that it wasn't tested either. Books A Million will have it on the shelf as of today because it's after midnight. See, if I didn't already order it and didn't already have 1,000 things to do, I probably would just go run and buy it tomorrow, but I'm not. Yeah, because if there's hair that's not Ethan's, because I'm pretty sure, like, I know that it says it is being tested to be like Kohberger's, but I'm pretty sure they also had to test it against like everybody else's too, like actually that is in the house, like the victims and Dylan and Bethany. They probably all had to test all against it. If they didn't, that'd be really dumb. Because hair can break, like just because it shows that it's like a certain length doesn't mean that it was a certain length. Like it could break even though like it might be longer at its origin point. I don't know. I just have a lot of questions. I have a million questions. Oh, nice. Oh, they had it since last night. Well, yeah. Well, technically since last night because it's past midnight. Yeah, I'm not going to look anywhere else. I'm just going to wait for it to come in. Okay. Yeah, I'll check my email after the live. I'm about to get off of here. I just wanted to do like a reaction to some things because I don't know. There's just some things. I just wish that I would have left here with a little bit more confidence and stuff. Because I went in there ready to go. Like I pushed my own live back to go through here because I was like, hell yeah, we're gonna get some source information. My shit can wait. And I don't know. I just don't feel as satisfied as I thought that I would. So I don't know. Oh, I guess I missed that part. I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably going to go back and listen to it tomorrow, like let it play while I'm cleaning the house up a little bit and try to listen to a couple more things that he said. just to refresh myself. I don't really want to spend too much time on his interviews. Like, I'm going to listen to the rest of the ones that he's doing so that I can maybe catch some information that maybe he says differently, that maybe it'll be more clear the next time. I don't know. But I really just want to focus on the book itself because that's what he's putting out here in black and white. I just don't really appreciate the comment he made about how he got paid already. It doesn't matter if he sells 1 or 1 million. That kind of tells me that you just don't really care. I know that I'm not the only one who got the ick whenever he said that, because the majority of my people are here for the right reason. So I know that rubbed y'all the wrong way too. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, people say lots of things, Carla. I don't know. I asked for like evidence. I asked if he was going to produce anything that we hadn't seen as proof that he actually has access to files that we haven't seen. And I was told no, that he won't be producing any of that. I asked if there was going to be anything in the book in way of like a document to prove a new thing that's not out into the public if he puts it in the book. And I was told no, that's not going to be like that. So I'm not going to change the way that I do things here just because it's somebody that has the like mind when it comes to there being a lot of questions. I want some actual proof of things. And people can say stuff like, well, it went through a publishing company. So does Howie Bloom Blum, whatever. So does James frickin' Patterson. And look at the disgusting waste of oxygen that damn thing is. We need to be for real. Just because he is coming out here with information that we have had questions for too, doesn't mean that we have to sit there and drool over everything he says and not think. That's not how I'm going to do it. That's not how I'm going to ever do it. So there's that. Oh, man. Okay. They were trash. Trash as hell. Trash as hell. Yeah, there was quite a few people. There was quite a few people that paid money for questions and didn't get their questions answered. Several people were asking very specifically for my question in a super chat thingy, and it was not getting asked the right way. You cannot get the right answer if you're not asking the question correctly. It's very, very important. Words and the way that things are worded together, the way that words are flowing together, the verbiage of the question is so important. Yeah, it's a big red flag. It's a big red flag. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I don't know now that we've gone through all this stuff. Well, thank you for like trying to redirect him into realizing he said something incorrectly. I really appreciate you for that. Thank you for doing that. I refuse to drool. Yeah, me too, honestly. You know what else took just like something I was thinking about earlier? I was really debating whether I should make coffee or pour me a rum and coke because I'm so stressed out after this. That's why I've just kind of like been sipping on my coffee and like barely drink any of it, because I'm probably going to go pour me a rum and coke before I go to bed, because what? My brain's a little everywhere. Like, again, there's substance to a lot of things, but shit, I have questions about a lot of stuff that was said too. And all I ask for is like evidence. All I want is like the stuff to back it up. And for you not to put your hands in your hair and get all frustrated like Jim Carrey on Liar Liar when you're asked something very specific about something that's been a huge topic and it's definitely part of the evidence. That's a weird reaction, bro. It's a weird reaction. Weird reaction. All right, you guys, y'all go have a good night. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Y'all get some sleep. We'll go live tomorrow. Probably recap the little chapter 9 because that was the schedule anyway, and it's late. Thank you for the $4.99, Aaron. I appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome, Bree. Or shall I say welcome back? How did I miss these? Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you again, Shadow Ghost. I appreciate you guys coming in here. What a night. But you know what? We roll with the punches. We roll with the punch. That's the thing right there. That's right. That's it right there. Just one last thing. That's the point right there. We spent $1,500 on that footage. Then when we finally get the footage, there's was it the 9 a.m. to the 10 o'clock hour where they're trying to say that he was back in the neighborhood and he really wasn't? That wasn't there. And then the 12:55 to the 2:25 wasn't there. The footage started, or was it 2:20? One of the two. The footage that we got started at 2:25, and by 2:27, and I think what is it, like 12 seconds, 13 seconds, that guttural scream comes on the camera. So we paid all that money for that footage, and then they didn't give us the original section of it because it wasn't with the rest of it. It was in a separate folder that Amber and Tim Smaldrich had to go find. Then we waited forever for them to give it to us, and then we were told that there was no redactions done because it was muted. That's why, again, the verbiage for my question was so freaking important, because Amber already told me that they didn't have to do any redactions. Besides, like, the license plate little program that they do for, like, hiding stuff, there was no noise redaction. She told me that herself. We paid an extra, I don't even know, $200 something for that one, for them literally not to even redact noise. And remember, that's when I got on the phone with the city attorney. That's when I talked to Mia Batista, or however you say her freaking name. That's when I talked to her. That's why it's important, because if they're bullshit, we paid a lot of money for some damn information. Now, granted, getting that information, the families got it too, and they hadn't been getting anything. Anytime that we pay for a FOIA, the families get the information, no matter what it is, no matter which agency. That's how it works. So if we paid for something and we're being lied to about what we paid for, and we're being, like, information is being withheld from us, and we are being lied to from several people inside of that department, yeah, it's important. It's so freaking important. Very much. Yeah, you did. And I very much appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys that tried, because there were so many of you guys in the chat saying, no, he says in the book 216, 216, 216. It was so important. Yeah. But his reaction to being asked about the scream was the most telling thing. If you guys don't do anything before you go to bed, go back to that live and go to the transcript if it's already loaded, and go and find where he is asked about that 227 scream, and watch his entire body language. It is an interesting reaction. And I can also promise you, he was reading the chat, because they had him blown up on the screen like hella big, and you could see his eyes going back and forth. He was reading all of the questions. He was seeing all of us having issues with some of the stuff that he was saying, and he was just ignoring it. Because remember, he already got paid. I wish I was somebody who could have no conscience. I really wish that I was someone who could walk around and have no moral compass. My life would probably be a lot easier, because, you know what? Only the shitty people make it. I wish that I could be a piece of shit. I wish that I could just be somebody who doesn't care. But then again, I don't, because that'd be horrible. Doesn't matter. I already got paid. I'm not going to forget he said that shit. That's crazy as hell. Crazy as hell. No, I can't. I don't even like white lying. Look, I don't lie to my kids so much. You heard that right. I don't lie to my kids so much. The one time I lied to Don, because I bought him a tablet and I didn't want him to see the tablet. So I lied to him about the reason why I was in the bathroom to get into my closet was to go and get, like, the tablet and wrap it up as a gift for him. And I had to lie to him and tell him that I was going to change my clothes. But I came out in the same clothes, and he has been mad for 3 years now that I lied to him about what I was doing in the freaking closet, because I told him I was changing and I didn't, even though it was for a surprise. Even though it was because I was trying to surprise him with the tablet, I lied to him. And for 3 years now, since he was 5, he has not let me live that down. That's how much I don't lie to my kids. So that should explain a little bit about why I get frustrated when people lie. Because I just don't do it. I don't have the patience. I don't have the energy. It takes too much time. I got enough going on. I can't keep up stories, bro. For real. Look, I'm telling you, he brings it up sometimes. He will bring it up sometimes. Well, one time about the tablet. I said, okay, well, that was 3 years ago, and I can take the tablet from you if it really makes you feel that bad. Yeah, so serious. You didn't change your clothes? Yeah, that was funny. Oh my God. All right, guys. He just turned 8 a couple weeks ago. And my oldest is 19. Yeah, the whole getting paid up front thing is crazy. I mean, I was hoping not to get that feeling. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I literally just don't trust anybody in this shit, but I'm also realizing from the chat itself and what you guys are saying, it's not just me that feels these things. It's not just me that feel these things. No, I must have looked away. Thank you for the $2, Dago. Yes, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll email you back here in just a few minutes. I can't seem to shut up. Oh, thank you for the 5 Shadow Ghost. I'm late to this live, but how can he say that's my problem? Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why I needed that's why I needed him to be asked that question, because in his paper for chapter 9, it says 216, 217 about hearing the girls in Murphy. How? Because again, it's not just me that's saying that the audio is not there. Ann Taylor said it in court. It was like May 2024. Yeah, it was after the grand jury, but before the venue change. We went over that in a live. We went over that motion in a live where she's standing up and she's telling them how it's pieced together, stitched together, not all together, disorganized, and there's pieces of audio missing. Well, me and Ann Taylor have the same recollection of this audio. Home Dude over here is saying that he heard something that me and Ann Taylor have both said, well, we've listened to it and it's missing. See what I mean? That's why my question is important in my opinion. I just need some facts. Just need some facts. I mean, I understand that. But when we're being told that there was no audio from the original source, I need clarification on that, because did he get it from something other than MPD? Did he go and get access from it somewhere else? Is it just MPD's 5 different versions that are on CDs and all these different things that don't have audio, and he was able to get it from another source? Because again, this isn't like a redacted thing. They're telling us the whole thing had none. And remember, we just went through the interview of the girl from 1119, and even her ass said something about there being cameras on her house. And we've been questioning all the different cameras for a long time. Now, I know he said that there wasn't one, and I know that that's what we've been told a bunch. I have so many questions. Yeah, there's a lot of mislabeled files. That's why I really don't want to dig too much into like the interviews and stuff itself. I really want to just get like the book information. And even though like I know that there's going to be people that have the book now early that are going to have it a week before me, I'm fine with that. I'm not changing my schedule. That honestly gives me more time to go back and get some of the exhibits and stuff taken care of, some of the Pullman docs out. Like we're going to go over what we were going to go over tomorrow, and I'm going to listen to the other interviews for the most part, but unless he says something real crazy off the wall, I'm not going to do like a reaction to all of them. This was just like a first time one. So yeah, just like FYI, in case y'all were expecting a reaction after each one, that's not going to happen. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm waiting to see what the book says. Hopefully, I mean, I just hope that at some point, he will understand. As an FBI agent, he should understand that we're asking questions because we really do want answers here. We have good intentions about wanting the truth. We don't want to keep having a million questions. We don't want to have all these inconsistencies. And I don't think it's a big deal to ask for a little bit of proof that he does have something that we haven't seen. Especially when he says stuff about like he got most of his information off of YouTube and it's us that isn't looking at it correctly. Well, then I need you to kind of provide me the people that are purchasing your book and giving you a name, in this case, a little bit of proof that you do have something. Like, I don't want to see the damn autopsy photos, but is there like some sort of report or something that he can reveal on somebody's channel that proves that he has this information? Like, as an ex-FBI agent, he should understand the concept of receipts, is all I'm saying. So I don't know. We will see. We will see. I don't know. So I'm going to assume that means that he hasn't shown y'all anything either. I mean, I just want one thing. I just need one thing. It'd be easier to kind of let a couple of other things go. See, he hasn't. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know it wasn't supposed to be out yet. I was just hoping that he would have at least produced a little bit of something so that you guys could like know that he wasn't full of it. Yeah, maybe. That'd be really great if after like the full release is done, if he could produce at least like one thing. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, that maybe something else will come out afterwards. Ew. We don't bring up that disgusting freak on this channel. That's like the one person that's not allowed to be talked about here. J-Rod talked a bunch of shit about my child who was a minor and continues to. He doesn't get talked about on this channel. Ugh. You just ruined my night. Now I'm definitely going to go pour a damn rum and coke. The hell? Yes, please let me know. Okay, I'm going to get off of here because I'm getting yelled at by by Calypso. She wants in the room and my door is shut. I can hear her yelling down the hallway. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's like Voldemort. It's actually funny. Don asked me the other day, are there people that make hater videos about you? I was like, yeah, Ariel saw one. He was like, tell them not to do that anymore. And he's like, honestly, he started giving me some like little gamer YouTuber threats about exposing IP addresses and doxing people. And I'm like, you've been listening to too much YouTube. We're not going to do that. We don't pay attention to those kind of people. We're definitely going to sit there and let my 8-year-old act crazy. Yeah. I'm about to even go to bed and lay down because my brain is spinning everywhere. Spinning everywhere. Oh, no, he's not. I wouldn't be nice to him if he was. He's definitely not. Yeah, you can hear her. I can hear her. She's so loud. She's the tiniest one and she's the loudest. Oh my gosh. Okay. I can't stop talking because my head is still spinning. So I'm just going to go ahead and get off of here now so that I can let you guys go, because I can probably still talk for like another 3 hours and I really just don't want to. So thank you for coming in here and listening to me rant about some stuff for a little while. Thank you for the super chats and the super stickers and the gifted memberships and for you joining on your own. I very much appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Y'all try to get some sleep. I will talk to y'all very, very soon. Let me roll this out real quick. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. All right, you guys. See y'all.